from the Prime Minister's statements against Sonia Gandhi, which he made in Hosur in Tamil Nadu, to the allegations made by the BJP in Parliament, to what the Supreme Court decided as far as Uttarakhand was concerned. It's been a day of hectic political developments. We're going to first focus on AgustaWestland and the allegation made by the BJP leader Anurag Thakur that a Congress leader had met the middleman Michel in Dubai. I'm joined now by Sudhanshu Trivedi, the spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, Rajya Sabha MP of the Congress, Soli Sarabji, former Attorney General of India, and also Aarti Jairath, the senior journalist with me in the studio. Sudhanshu Trivedi, let me come to you first, sir. Who is this Congress leader who met the middleman?
Anurag Thakur has said that they themselves can identify who had met the middleman in Dubai. Because as far as the involvement of the Congress leaders with the middleman are concerned, it is very much there from the Italian courts, not from the Indian proceedings. And moreover, you yourself has said that this is becoming another Bofors. So in this context, I would like to remind from Bofors era till today, in the last 30 years,
Trivedi,
whenever there is a name of an absconder,
who is
let me complete the sentence. Whenever there is an absconder, foreigner,
yes,
who has done something wrong in India and managed to go out, it
yes,
is always related to the first family of Congress, whether it is Warren Anderson, Ottavio Quattrochi, Christian Michel, or Guido Heskey. So look at the total picture.
So who is
then
the Congress
you will
leader
get
who has
better
met Christian
reasoning.
Michel?
In case by case, you can have diversionary logic or alibi or others. But why in the last 30 years, all foreigners absconding are related to the first
Mr.
family
Sudhanshu
of Gandhi?
Trivedi, I understand what you're trying to say. I'm asking you a simple question. A responsible member of the BJP, and
now
MP
the simple
on
answer
the
is
floor
he
of the
has
House
spoken on the
has
floor
said,
of the House. If
who
our
is the
friends
person?
are having any objection, they can bring their privilege motion. He has spoken on the floor
Right.
of the House.
So can I
not in
therefore
media or
take it from
anywhere
you
else.
that the BJP doesn't endorse this statement?
No, I am saying that it is a statement of member of parliament on the floor of the House, and if anybody is having any objection, they can take an appropriate action.
No, but
and
sir,
remedy
why
as
would
per
the
law.
question of objection arise if you say, or if the BJP believes that that statement is authentic?
No, we believe that whatever our MP has said is authentic.
So
if
therefore,
somebody is
sir,
having
if
doubt,
you believe,
if somebody has said
so
something,
therefore, if you believe that what your MP has said is authentic, why don't you tell us who this person is? Because it's a stunning statement, sir. Mr. Trivedi, I'm sure you would agree, it is a stunning statement and a very serious allegation. We need to get the name, sir. Who is this person who has met Christian Michel?
definitely for this you have to ask Mr. Anurag Thakur.
But
and
isn't
at
it
an
a bit
appropriate
odd,
level
sir,
with
that
an
Mr.
appropriate
Anurag Thakur has
condition, he
not
will tell.
shared this key point he made in Parliament with leaders such as you, spokespersons of the party?
Okay, I would just ask one question. If he has taken the a context without anybody's name, then who is having problem?
He has taken...
Who is having problem?
Okay. All
if
right.
the person is having, any person is having problem, he can raise question.
Dr. Singhvi, he has taken
Why
a
anybody is
context
taking
without
on its
naming
own?
anybody's name. Is that something that is acceptable to the Congress party, that it's an allegation but there is no name, therefore you should not necessarily have a problem with it, assuming that you do?
Vishnu, let's forget all this shadow boxing and pure technicality. Please understand the larger picture. BJP is doing only one thing, and the law of diminishing returns started on the second or third day itself. It wants A, pot boiling, keep the pot boiling, B, keep a stick to beat the Congress with, and don't allow any culmination, consummation, completion. Now take a simple statement. Mr. Anurag Thakur's government is there. Mr. Anurag Thakur's Prime Minister is there. His government's ED, CBI, RAW, IB. He has to go inside Parliament, which is protected area. You cannot be defamed, you cannot file defamation against there. He doesn't take the name. He does what is known as teasing, titillation. Throw a name. Exactly what the Modi government has done for 24 months. Not a single charge sheet, no trial, no arrest, no interrogation, not a piece of paper. Keep on keeping the pot boiling by shouting from the rooftops, but Sonia Gandhi ne paisa liya hai. Now what is the basis of that? The basis of that is a judgment from Italy which we tore apart in the House. I opened the speech from the opposition side in the House. It does not have a word suggesting remotely that Sonia Gandhi has taken the money. I can read any part of it, we've gone through it. Then they shift gears to the Vice President. His aide clarifies 5 times that he has never been a director or a shareholder of the company at all, leave aside having been associated with the man. Then AP, ignoring the judgment of their own Margdarshak Mandal member Mr. L.K. Advani, in whose case the Delhi High Court operative judgment holds that initials written in a diary are of zero probative value. Now, what can I do if the BJP believes that the people of India eat grass, are gullible fools, and believe everything merely because the BJP repeats it in a Goebbelian manner, like Goebbels? Logic always is a winner. These are all diversionary tactics. Neither Mr. Anurag Thakur nor the entire might of the government of India in 24 months has been able to dig a mountain and take out even a chuha.
I just want
At
to go
least give a
across to,
chuha,
I
as
want to go
Arun
across
Shourie
to
put it today,
the former Attorney General,
Arun Shourie put it today,
Mr. Soli
Vishnu,
Sorabji on this
Vishnu,
point.
As Arun Shourie put it today, Vishnu, as Arun Shourie put it today, he said, इतना बड़ा चूहा खोद इतना पहाड़ खोदने के बाद चूहा भी नहीं निकला, एक इनविजिबल चूहा निकला. Mr. Manohar Parrikar's invisible hand.
Mr. Sorabji, do you believe that in fact, Mr. Sorabji, do you believe that it's somewhat disingenuous for the Congress party to say that, look, yes, there may be initials mentioned in that report, but there is no proof that the Italian judge was looking at corruption linked to Italy, not necessarily about corruption as far as political families are concerned? Or do you believe that there is substance to mention of these names in that Italian court judgment, and that there is more than just name dropping and allegations and counter allegations taking place in Parliament?
Well, really, we'll have to look at the judgment. Merely initials by itself, I think, is no really probative evidence of wrongdoing. But I think if you read the judgment as a whole, and if you see the tenor and tone of the judgment, it really indicates that there is a case for interrogation, case for investigation. That cannot be denied. And you can't say the judgment is faulty or wrong and make all sorts of allegations about that. It's clear that you can't do on mere surmise, conjecture, but in these matters, Abhishek Singhvi Yati involves logic, but logic is not a determining factor. There are many other factors which go into it, apart from logic. So in case there is a case for investigation, interrogation, you can't say it's completely baseless and frivolous.
Tell me your views, Aarti, on this entire matter of making allegations. There have been complaints by the Congress party on what Dr. Subramaniam Swamy had to say, but he was pointing out to documents or part of that Italian judgment. The Congress said, no, they need to be authenticated. Authenticated by who? It is a translation of an Italian court judgment. So a lot of people would argue that that has a certain amount of merit. On the other hand, you have got BJP MPs making huge allegations over here. Is there a loss of credibility, whether it is at the level of the Congress or of the BJP, in these allegations and counter allegations?
Well, I think both, Vishnu. Look, few things are very clear. There has been corruption in the deal. Antony himself admitted it when he was defense minister. The Italian court has sentenced 2 people for giving bribes. If somebody gave bribes, somebody obviously took bribes. Now it's for us to establish in India who took those bribes. The Congress government started a CBI case, went slow on it for 1.5 years. This government came to power in 2014. For 2 years, they've done nothing to investigate the case. So there has been a 3.5 year time lag in trying to establish who took those bribes. I mean, I think both the Congress and the BJP owe it to the nation to tell us who took bribes in this deal, and that why did the deal have to be cancelled because of this.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they both owe it to us, and if they don't tell us, then they will both lose credibility.
According to Manohar Parrikar, the Ganga of corruption was flowing. Tyagi and others just dipped their hands in it. That's what Manohar Parrikar had to say. But Dr. Singhvi, he'd also made another point, which he also mentioned a few days back. And this point is this, and the Congress party has not really responded. When the helicopters came to India, it was proven that they did not perform in the manner that they were designed. They were not able to carry the load they were supposed to carry when they were tested in Jammu and Kashmir. And it is also a fact that this entire helicopter requirements were changed in the tender. They were supposed to be tested in India. They were only test flown abroad. Therefore, the argument being made by the BJP is this was pushed through when this helicopter could not perform in India. That's part of the controversies, the allegations of wrongdoing. How do you respond, sir, to that?
See, when you go into facts and logic, you have to be particular and go into the nitty-gritty. Let's break up your points. Foreign trials, there are 3 points to remember here. One, normally all the defense procurement policies say that the trial should be in India, normally. The same defense procurement policies, and 3 of them I have quoted on the floor of the House, 1999, 2002 and 2016. All 3 of them, which say the norm should be here, provide for trials abroad. It is not a prohibited, stigmatized sin that you can never ever have trials abroad. That's the point forgotten. I've given the para numbers of the 3 policies which permit that. Number 2, in this case, both Sikorsky of US and Agusta of England, Italy, were both permitted foreign trials in a non-discriminatory manner. Agusta in UK, Sikorsky in US. Number 3, Mr. Anthony pointed out in a written note on the file that the norm is this. Thereafter, the Chief of Defence Staff, the Defence Secretary, the DG Acquisitions and about 2 or 3 other officers, 4 or 5 notes came on the file explaining why it is necessary to send it abroad for testing. It's too cumbersome to fly it here first and then do it, etc., etc. Mr. Anthony then agreed. That's the long and short of it. It is not as if foreign trials have never taken place. To extrapolate from a foreign trial to suggest that there is corruption and that too in the political leadership is a leap of the imagination.